What is going on YouTube? It's Brendan from Market Makers. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. Guys, big show for you today. We got to look at the bull case for Bitcoin, the bear case for Bitcoin, as well as a zoomed in view. We're going to cover the indices. We have a trade going on Bitcoin all along, as you guys know. We have a trade going on the S&P, a short, as you guys know. We got to cover the metals. I think I threw nat gas on here as well by request. The economy continues to slow around the world. The battle for control over inflation rages on around the world. So this recession that's coming that we talk about all the time in the channel, people call it the most widely expected / forecasted recession ever. I think there's a good reason for that. Social media. I think social media is so prevalent now. It's so easy to communicate with each other, and people realize how wrong experts have been so many times. This recession that I see coming is so obvious, Stevie Wonder can see it coming, okay? It's a very obvious recession. We have the leading economic indicator index that fell for the 14th month in a row. We have the yield curve inversion still north of 102 basis points, the 2s and 10s, 103 even. So this is still going to be a process of when this thing hits, guys. But what we do know is the S&P trades at an average of minus 33% in a recession from its cycle high. So we have to watch these rallies, trade the moves the best you can, and definitely look at when the markets look to be toppy, because that is where you're going to make the big money when everything pulls down. So let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin. 3-day chart. So this is the bull case. Covered this a little bit last video. We'll speed through this so you guys can go about your day. So 3-day chart. We have our up wave 63%, 58.72, 60.76 is the projection. Geometric mean of the first two waves is 61% move, which is this wave and lands you perfectly at 39,791. That lower target, remember this is the bull case scenario, this is market symmetry geometric trading. 34,770 is that lower target. So we're going to talk about what Bitcoin has to do to flip this, because you have market symmetry in the up waves in this scenario. You have market symmetry in the down waves. So is this doable? Yes, it is doable. You need the markets to recover and pump back up as well, I do believe. So let's look at this for the bear case scenario. Here's your Bitcoin. Here it is in Wyckoff. Now on a 3-day chart, you are bullish on the paper in the market, the money flow. You are starting to get bullish on the momentum, but this is what you threw already. You have a bearish pattern you flew through. This is the bear case scenario, okay? This is your dragon pattern. So you have a dragon pattern where you activated it at 31,040. This could come up to 32,750 as well. And again, you guys know this just with even out fibs. We talk about this all the time. What is this? Nothing more than your Livermore pivot on top of Wyckoff. As you guys know, the previous couple of weeks, I've been talking about how this can come down to test your ceiling on Wyckoff. It's exactly what it did. Mark in our room posted a short up here, captured this 20% move down. I posted the re-entry short, captured the 17% move from my short, and then Mark posted the long 26% move up, guys. You get these trades on our Discord. You can join the Discord for free. You can check out SimpleFX if you want to trade. You can get up to a $5,000 instant deposit bonus to trade all the equities, commodities, Forex, and Bitcoin, and some cryptos as well. You don't earn it. It is available instantly in your margin as soon as you do a deposit. The link is in the video description with all the details. You can message Lee if you have any issues, or if you want to trade all of the different altcoins, the myriad of altcoins, meme coins, everything else. You can check out BingX. They're fantastic fantastic too. All that information is in the video description. Then message Lee in the Telegram, guys. He will get you set up in the room and you get all of our indicators for free as well. So that's the bear case. Went over the bull case. Let's go ahead and look at this from some other perspectives here. So what does this mean on the daily? What does Bitcoin need to do? Little mini cough structure and a dotted green lines here, guys. Basically, you need to break out. You need to break out above 31,424, your fractal high here. Break out above that. You usually see some type of pullback like the Livermore pivot, right? And then you spin out. Now, Bitcoin's so parabolic, sometimes this pullback is nothing, okay? Sometimes you don't get much of a pullback like down here in this range. You got a big candle test here, a lot of supply dumped, and you have two candles and then explosion up. So you have to be Johnny on the spot with this or really understand fibs and how they work. But this would be the bullish case scenario continued if you get that upside move. Let's look at some daily indicators here. In the money flow, you're in a topped out range here for trend exhaustion. So you made a little double top. You see if you stay up here, your momentum is strong. Okay, your momentum is very strong still in the daily time frame, large time frame. It's important to have strong momentum. So if the S&P recovers, which we're going to cover that as well, if the S&P, NASDAQ, everything recovers after they find a base and come back up, you could see Bitcoin do this impulsive move higher to the upside, 34,768 once again, or up there almost towards 40K, 39X. Let's go ahead and move forward. Bitcoin on the 1 hour doesn't look as bullish. Obviously, small time frame. Money flows bearish. Momentum's bearish. You've just been descending. Just some basic TA concepts, guys. Your high, your lower high, your lower high. Putting in lower lows in the range as well. Your low, your lower low, lower low. So you have another mini cough structure down here. You can just keep making mini cough structures. But this is a very small time frame. But a lot of people in our room do trade small time frames. But this is more bearish, as you can see with your oscillators and indicators. And overall, the larger time frame is still bullish for Bitcoin. I think will remain so as long as you don't have anything too crazy happen in the DXY or in the indices themselves. But let's look at the DXY because this played out beautifully so far. We got rejected at our 618 at 104, fell back down to our 786 here at the 102 spot 031, came back up, back tested 102 spot 601 at the 618. And now what you want to see if this continues to move up, right? Again, that upside target you got to flip is the 104. If you can flip that, you go on the 105 spot 917, 1618 at 108 spot 334. Depending which economist you listen to, some economists think the dollar is going to get very, very strong, parabolically strong as people cash out on markets, different reasons. They need it around the world. It is the reserve currency for now around the world till BRICS really kicks into effect, I think. But other people think it's going to get much, much weaker and very quickly much weaker. So I don't know. Depends who you listen to on that. I'm trading this based off the price action or tracking this based off the price action and how it affects the market. Stronger dollar, guys, bad for crypto, bad for equities. Weaker is better in the near term, but it won't change the macroeconomic forces. Looking at the VIX is at 14.04, right just below your pandemic low before you spiked up to north of 85. VIX is, again, low VIX in a bull market. You want a low VIX for strong price action. In a bear market, low VIX makes bear market tops. So we're getting some clustering down here. We'll start to see what happens with this. Fast forwarding once again to the S&P, our pivot pattern played out beautifully. We traded this. This was my trade in the room at 44.42. It's over 100 handles in profit now, which is excellent. We want to see where this is going to find some support because I want this move. I want that move back to retest previous resistance, and that's where you're going to see how great of a move this could be. Because if you fail at key resistance, that's going to be an awesome trade because we traded this move in the room as well, 9% drop. And to put that in perspective, remember pre-GFC, Great Financial Crisis, the S&P averaged like 8% a year in returns. And then post-GFC, it was 9-10% a year. Sometimes I think you had a couple years in there that were 11%. So to make 9% in a single trade, it's like a year's returns. This is why bear markets and rallies are so much fun to trade. Let's fast forward and look at this. So the S&P, when we're talking about being above the whole index here, being above the breadth, I should say, being above the 200, being above the 50, being above the 20, it's all 52%. So half the companies are above it, half the companies are below it. It's a very narrow breadth rally. Actually, just going back 40 years, it's the most narrow breadth for a rally of this size, a plus 20% rally that we've ever had in the S&P. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Really interesting when you start parsing out some data. We did get trend exhaustion up here at the 90 percentile range, and you have your retracement. Where's this retracement going to? Well, we gave you this pattern here at 44.15. We tested it, fell down, and now we're falling down towards our, what is it, the volume weighted 21, our tide, and that's at 43.22. I'll zoom into a smaller time frame, show you some confluence with that, but I'm expecting this range in this area to hold. We're at 43.40 right now, and the move that I want to see, guys, again, is this. Okay, so this is normally in a more complex correction, you will see the remember, this is nothing more than an ABC. Okay, let me illustrate this again for our viewers at home that don't watch every channel. But you'll have some type of impulse out. Okay, so you get an impulse, you hit this, you come down for your base, wherever that support is, and then you come back up. Let's color this green, get some contrast here. That's not a very good green. What about red? There, you guys can probably see that better. So this move here, your ABC, okay, this could happen at 44.15. And of course, if you take out the A point, roughly 44.50, that's when we're looking at our higher targets. And for me, that's the 1618 at 45.44. You have the psychological number at 4,500. But this is a more complex, and I'll show you what the difference is when my version of simple correction versus a complex correction, because complex is like Wyckoff distribution, okay? I want to see opportunities to trade double tops like we had here on our 9% drop. That's what I want to see, because if we go back to the August 2022, let's go check that out. August 2022. This is a simple parabolic move that corrected very simply. You had a spike up, single candle down, little doji candle up, and then a collapse, okay? Little retracement, collapse, and then this fell 20+%. So this is what I don't want to see. Even though I'm in a short, I like the opportunity to build my shorts and see if it plays out that way. Plus, we will see on this retest if we're going to be a little bit more bullish and try for the 1618 target, 45.44. So a lot to watch here, but really the core thing is just watching to see if we hold our support. Let's look at this on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, again, this is where I shorted up here in the room. We captured this whole 100+ handle move down now, okay? So we have the 1618 projection here, small 1 hour time frame. It landed me at 43.45, which we just fell below at 43.41. It was holding beautifully here. And then I have a 1618 projection at 43.17. So that it roughly lines up with that volume weighted 21 on the daily at 43.22. So if this starts capitulating more, really want to see that 43.20, let's call it, separate the difference. 43.20 hold. On the 1 hour time frame, obviously indicators are bearish, money flow bearish, momentum bearish, because you're in a downtrend. So when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, want to see if this correction can hold a base and then come back up. That's the key to the trade, guys. Key to the trade. You can take profits on this trade as soon as we make a base. If we start coming back up, are we going to flip it, take out this previous resistance, or are we going to make our easy to trade lower high and capture a potential much larger move? Very excited about that. Let's look at gold, the sign of our times. So gold, as you guys know, very happy about my trade. We shorted, I put this white Wyckoff dots here instead of the lines, so you can see my sine waves easier, okay? But that's our Wyckoff range. It's the same chart, 3-day chart I've been showing you guys for months now. But based on the premise for over 2 years, every time we get above this 2055 range, it drops down in nice 15-20% moves. So we shorted up here, as you guys know, shared this with you as well. 2055 got in a short. This is over 100 handles in profit now as well, or 130 handles in profit as well. Bounced beautifully off the 1909. So the sine waves, so just for some bragging rights here, the way this is laid out, this is accurate going back to August 2021. So basically 2 years, okay? So this captured your low beautifully. Notice the cupping pattern here. Captured your low, captured your high, captured your low, and now potentially has captured the high. If this plays out this way, which I don't want it to, because we have the short here, but I would love to see the opportunity to get back into a larger trade like we did here. Spike up, right? Have to spike up, move down, move up, and then the double top, getting that extra opportunity to build this before this thing really dumps, okay? Because this thing, it's trying to hold support here on the 3-day chart. But I mean, if it stays in this pattern as it has, this could easily just come up a little bit and then start falling apart. But, it's just one TA method. It is really neat how it is playing out. But we'll see if this does give us a bounce, another opportunity here to get back into a short. Let's look at the money flow and everything really quickly. Money flows bearish on the 3-day chart with a lot of room that it could still move down. Momentum's completely flat. So this is not a bullish looking chart. You're trying to hold support. This has been a slow drift since we shorted this. Very slow on the way down here, but very profitable. Let's go ahead and move forward. Let's look at silver. Nothing is fancy on silver, just our 2-year long trend line, which all along the way is just giving us great trades every time we try to escape the trend line. And we finally broke out. We shorted this at 26, guys, and this has been a great trade as well. We got all the way down here to 22.11. So fantastic, profitable trade. And silver's just making a bunch of different shapes. We go over this all the time, so I'll just do it briefly. But you have a larger macro double top now, as you can see. When you tried to break your neckline here and you got bought up a little bit, larger macro double top. And then, of course, you have what I pointed out before, this head and shoulders type pattern. Remember, silver went down 61% in the GFC, that mini crash cycle, and this expressed as fee, right? 61.8%. Gold went down 34%, which in and of itself is a Fibonacci number. So you can have some strong declines. Oh, go back to that gold chart. So that 1654, as you notice, just from this fib retracement of the impulse of the move, lines you up really well with that sine wave at 1654 at the 1618. And that is a smaller drawdown. Okay, that would be your drawdown from your cycle high here. That would be a 20% move once again, basically just retesting the lows. If you come down to the 2618, you're looking at a 32% move. That's 13.99 on gold, and this is 1654 on gold. Let's go ahead and move forward. Look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ right at its mean, okay, right back to the 21 volume weighted. So watching this, your momentum's dying off. It's slowly rolling over. Money flow is pretty flat here. You're trying to find support, as you can see here. And we have this 14,581 if this starts capitulating and falling through. My target up here was 15,544. So just like everything else, you're going to see this in a lot of the assets we're looking at, this retracement move down, okay? It's that next move up. And I'll show you some great examples of that on Tesla because Tesla is falling as well. But let's look at this really quickly on a 1 hour. Zoom this in. Let's see if we can get some confluence for this support down to the downside. And let me get my projection here. And look at that. You land it right on the 1618 at the 1 hour, 14,743. You see that? When you understand fibs, it's a lot better than drawing boxes based on previous candle ranges. And it allows you to be predictive, okay? It allows you to be predictive and get trades like the SPX top versus being reactive and waiting until certain levels are taking out and missing profit. So it's all about understanding different trading techniques. Fibonacci, in my opinion, the most powerful one to understand. 14,743, holding that right now on the 1 hour chart. Obviously, indicators on the 1 hour, very bearish, right? Because you're in a downtrend. But let's go ahead and look at this on the Russell as well. Russell 1618 held up beautifully. Again, that's our previous trade for a 17% drop in our Discord. 1901 has been tested multiple times, rolled down. And when you look at this Russell chart, guys, what does that look like? Remember Bitcoin pre-pump? This was Bitcoin, right? If I took all the patterns off, took the fibs off, came down, literally retested the Wyckoff ceiling. Understanding the structure of Wyckoff is really, really helpful. This would be your Livermore pivot to come back up, just like Bitcoin, right? But you have known resistance at 1901. Russell trying to base here at 1830. We'll see if this thing can hold at 1813 here. If this comes up, once again, looking for that lower high structure, just like a classic ABC double top, because this is really easy to trade and very profitable when you get into a trending market. If it does come back up and takes out this high, the previous high, the 1901, You want to see it back test it for support and move up, and that's your pivot back out to the upside. All these trades can be done either direction. It's just a matter of where it fails. Tesla gave you guys a 268 target, got $9 above it, struck it beautifully. Geometric Gartley, Tesla's at 244. Tesla dropped significantly. So this is a 3-day chart. I'll show you this on the daily as well. But what are you waiting for then on this chart, right? Because we traded Tesla here on this blue candle right here. And why? Because again, lower high structure. Gartley, Harold Gartley, this was his pattern, right? He had the lower high structure, and then you could put your stop right up here, and then you can trade this. We shorted this, guys, 27% drop. And our intro thing, you've seen different Tesla wins there on SimpleFX, but lots of guys made lots of money on both the drop and the pumps in Tesla. So what I'm looking for is what Tesla likes to do. You get this drop, you retrace, and you get these double top actions all through Tesla. Okay, that's the 3-day chart, and let's look at the 3 days, see if it's staying bullish here on the larger time. This is where we got over with trend exhaustion, right? We only hit that one other time on the 3-day at the exact candle of the all-time high. So we hit that at 277, and look where we got to. So now we're retracing a little bit. Momentum is still strong. This is why I think, and I'm not positive on that. The market can do anything at once, but on the daily chart, when we zoom this forward, money flow came right to the median line. Obviously, your momentum slowing down, rolling over. Tesla also got downgraded by a bank as to a neutral, I think. But looking at this, again, this is just the move that Tesla likes to do, right? So that's our short up here, 27% drop. I want to see this thing hold support, 243, come back up, give us that classic lower high. And then if you retest this or break it, obviously you can trade that to the upside too, to our 299 target. But for right now, I'm looking for this move. But for that to happen, you got to find support, because Tesla can make deep retracements, pump up, and then really fall apart. Because people get euphoric. Oh man, I missed that pump on Tesla to 277. Now I can buy it at 240. And that's how the stock can move back up. So patience is key when you're watching some of these. If you miss the top, like on our trade on the SPX, then wait for the rebound. There's your top, there's your rebound. You get other opportunities to make trades, guys. So let's go ahead and move forward. Looking at the JPN, the Nick. So the Nick is doing the same thing as the S&P, same as the NASDAQ. My target here is 33,931 at the 2618. This is like a huge in wave theory here. So it's just like a big wave 3 out. A harmonic cycle is 5. So 5 waves would be like a complete harmonic cycle in wave theory. But this is a big wave 3 out. You have a retracement here. Let's see if this can pop up. If it can flip 2618, you're going higher up. But if not, this is key resistance area. And again, just looking even easier would be another lower high, because in the daily, you had a little baby double top here, and then it fell, right? But if this thing comes back up, lower high, would be very easy to trade on this as well. It landed right on your mean reversion. Okay, it landed right on the mean reversion. The volume weight at 21. It's closing below it as of right now, but we'll see if this pops back up for a lower high. You're basically at the median line of money flow momentum, obviously dying off as it would on a pump. And the Nvidia, guys, same thing. Look at that, landed right on your mean reversion. I'll zoom in here so you guys can see this. Again, just parabolic wave 3 out, big gap in here as well. So if I look at this on the daily, which is what we're on now, it's just the indicators, you're still in the bullish territory. You're flatlining in the bullish territory. Momentum's still strong, even though it's rolling over, right? But let's just go ahead and look at this. So my 4236 is up here at 446. You got very close to it. But just looking at this from a Wyckoff structure, your impulsive move up, I'll just throw this on that previous up fractal there. And then looking at this on the move down, right here. So basically 373, 419. Okay, this is your kill box. This is your chop zone in here for trades. You want to stay above this, the 419. And I do think if you're chasing this, guys, up at this level, you're playing with fire, because many people, most traders, do not have the discipline to exit trades after they've made money, and they end up giving a lot of their gains back. But you bounced right off your mean reversion. That's where you bounced off of. Okay, so you want to see if this comes back up. And just like everything else that I'm showing you today, this is like double top city, okay? If this rolls over to a lower high, Watch that. You can go into smaller time frames, get your resistance zones. You can join our room and you can look at this with our traders and community members as well. But that's that range, 373 on the daily and the macro picture. If you start getting chop in here, you start falling back, you want to see that back test, and there's your Livermore pivot. You'll probably get some type of fractal low there, and that's your trigger that to dump it. Okay, look how beautifully this tracked to the 2618 at 316. So this again, this is going to backfill this gap at some point, and it's got a lot to give up. It was $100 stock back at the October lows, a lot to give up. Let's look at Palantir real quick, and I got one left, and I'll get you guys out of here. So Palantir, this I guess is from the last video. So Palantir hit beautifully here at the 2618, 1714 within 3 pennies, right? 2618, 1714, laid this out so this lines up beautifully. And just looking for the same move, guys, the same lower high move. And for all of these, you can simply grab a fib retracement. Some people like to go from the previous high. I look for impulse moves, but I'd be looking at this. And look how beautifully that lined up. And looking at this at the 786 at 1618, if you get any type of move back up again, just a parabolic wave 3 out on this. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at here, and we'll see where this lands if it does come back up. But this is tracking really beautifully in fibs. You're still bullish in the money flow, although it's rolling down some. Obviously, your momentum's dying off a lot. Okay, so just be aware of this because this company, it's a lot of money to give up as well. The AI is a big evaluation bubble. Okay, it's just a big bubble. You got a big gap down here as well, all the way down to like $7.83. So this stock can easily get chopped in half. So watch for this move. It could be a very profitable move if it fails. Okay, if it flips it and goes up, you're going higher. Nat gas by request. We got to my 1272. 2.821. So that's where nat gas got to. Commodities are very difficult. We had trades going on oil that hit their take profit targets, but commodities are difficult because you have the geopolitical conflict, you have the various levels of inflation around the world, you have the constant supply and demand. We have summertime, and summertime typically you see commodity prices go up as well. But this needs to flip the 1272 where it was rejected, and then I'm looking at the 1618 at 3.074. So what I would probably do on this is I would wait because you're forming a doji here on the daily. You did hit a range here on the money flow that you've been topping out at lately. Same with your momentum. So if this can flip this 2.821 and come up, this is a range that you might want to look at some potential retracements back down to the downside. Or if you zoom into maybe the hourly or smaller or however you guys like to trade, you can find some momentum here, some momentum trades, and get this thing as it breaks out, if it does decide to break out to the upside. But be aware of any potential retracement. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. I will be back Thursday. Take care, everybody.